Illustration rares are some of my favorite types of cards to talk about here on the channel. Obviously, these cards can vary a lot in price. There are some really expensive ones out there, of course, the Magikarp from Paldea Evolved being the most expensive, even the most expensive card in that set. There are some other amazing ones as well, like the Tyranitar as well from Paldea Evolved, the Groudon from Paradox Rift, and the Ghastly from Temporal Forces. But even though all those cards are relatively expensive, there are a ton of great illustration rares that won't break the bank, and even a ton of them that I do expect to go up in value in the future. That's why today we're not necessarily going over undervalued illustration rares, but we're going to talk about some that are cheap and I think have the best upside potential. So here we go, 10 amazing illustration rares that you can pick up today for less than $10. To start off this list, we're going to go with something new being from Mega Evolution, and that's going to be the Inteleon IR. Now, Inteleon might not be the most popular Pokemon today, but it is also the top evolution of a Galar starter Pokemon, a Gen 8 starter in Sobble. You can pick this card up right now on TCG Players, going for about $3.50. Amazing pickup. Of course, we see IRs getting a little bit easier to pull going into the Mega Evolution era. This is definitely going to affect the long-term value of this card, but I feel like $3 is extremely cheap. It's an amazing card, beautiful artwork on it, and when I mentioned upside potential, I feel like this one has a lot of upside potential. Of course, as mentioned, easier to pull, but I can definitely see this card having more potential in the future, especially like 5 to 10 years down the line, when these kids that chose Sobble as their starter for Sword and Shield grow up. They might love Inteleon. It might be one of their favorite Pokemon. I think there's great potential. I don't expect this to be like a Magikarp or a Tyranitar or a Groudon being a $100 IR, especially because it's from a smaller set with easier pull rates, but there's solid potential for this card to easily jump above $10. Next up, we've got the Slackoth from Surging Sparks. Any Surging Sparks cards I talk about in this video, there's going to be a couple of them. I'd expect them to go down before they go up, especially with so much Surging Sparks hitting the market right now. It seems we're getting 1,000,001 collection boxes that all have Surging Sparks packs, and an absolute ton of these Costco bundles with the ETB and the booster bundle in them. Slackoth from Surging Sparks, right now $7.50, but looks like it's about to tank in value. This one might run down to $5. It also feels like almost every single show I vend, somebody comes up and asks about this card. So there are buyers. People love it. It's a super simple artwork, but it seems like a lot of these kind of goofy, simple artworks are relatively popular. It doesn't have to be the most badass card to have buyers. So Slackoth, definitely one with a bit of upside potential. Like I said, a lot of Surging Sparks is hitting the market. You're going to be able to pick this card up cheaper than it's at now. Like I said, $7.50. It's been all the way up to $16 during the hype. I think if you can wait a little bit, scoop it for $5, I don't see it really getting much cheaper than that. Now, I'm going to say I'm cheating a little bit on this list. I didn't expect to make this video about illustration rares. I looked at all of like XY onwards to see if there was like 10 solid cards I could find for under $10 that I thought had great upside potential. Turns out 90% of those cards were illustration rares, but a few were previous or promo cards in this case. The Magneton promo card from the Surging Sparks Elite Trainer box. Just like I mentioned, tons of ETBs hitting the market. This card's going to get even cheaper. Everyone loves it. Shinji Kanda artwork. It's going to be great long term. Obviously, being a promo card, there's going to be a lot of them out there, but I feel like it's going to see a day where it bumps up. I think it's better than the Lucario V-Star. It's better than the Greninja Gold Star. It's better than a ton of these newer ETB promos as well. Also being an original 151 Pokemon, that's got something going for it. There's a lot of boxes this card checks, at least on my list of like solid cards to pick up. Right now, you can grab this card for about $7, and I think that is solid. It's been a little bit higher. I've been picking them up over the last couple of weeks, actually a couple of months it seems. Over the last year, they've been as cheap as $2. So I mean, if you can get them $7 or even cheaper, I'd imagine they'll get cheaper as more of these ETBs get opened. I'd say pick them up. I think they're a great hold long term. Another one of those cards that kind of breaks a rule a little bit, not technically an illustration rare, but we got the Hisuian Samurott from the Crown Zenith Galarian Gallery. Absolutely beautiful artwork. This is done by one of my favorite artists, probably my favorite artist in the Pokemon TCG, Shibuzo. I've said it before, that Galarian Moltres card from Chilling Reign is probably my favorite Pokemon card that's ever been released. This is done by the same artist, very similar vibe. Right now it's $9, but as Crown Zenith, as a set, the sealed product, the singles slowly age and climb in value, this card's going to see growth. Like I said, $9. This card is going to go up. I wouldn't be surprised if this is like $15, $20 in a year's time. I don't just say this because I think it's one of my favorite cards, but I do see a lot of people trying to pick this up at shows. It's a super affordable card and amazing artwork. I don't really see this one dropping any more in price. I think it's going to age slowly and nicely over the years. Definitely one to keep your eyes on. Next up, we've got a cute option. There are a lot of people collecting these cutesy illustration rares right now. We've got the Milcery from Stellar Crown. Milcery might not be the most popular Pokemon, but this is a really cute pink card. There's always people like at shows. Some of the cards that sell the best out of the binder are the cute illustration rares. I'm always happy to pick them up and have tons available at any shows. Just like Surging Sparks, if Stellar Crown gets any sort of reprints or more of it hits the market, I'd imagine this card will drop a little bit in price, seeing as it's not like a huge chase card. But right now it's about $9. Even at $9, I think it's a solid one to sit on. I wouldn't expect this one again going up to being like $25, $50. But I think it's a really solid card to pick up, and I do see upside potential, or at least liquidity options on this card. Next up, we've got the Houndour from Obsidian Flames. Obsidian Flames, in my opinion, is very safe right now. I don't really see a lot of the cards getting too much cheaper. Of course, pull rates were really good on this set. There are a ton of these cards out there, the Houndour. Like, you can find it any show you go to. I guarantee somebody's going to have it, or somebody's going to have multiples, or maybe every single table is going to have it. This card also saw an insane pump earlier this year in February. It got all the way up to $33. Right now, you can grab it for about $8. I don't really see it dropping below $5. I think this card is really safe. Again, it's kind of a cute card, but not all super pink and bright and colorful. It's just a bunch of Houndour playing in the, the backyard or whatever. I think tons of people that have dogs would love to have this card. I'm one of those people as well. And as I said, the upside potential, like Houndour is a relatively popular Pokemon. It's a dog. People love dogs. Obsidian Flames is also a safe set to be making plays on, in my opinion. I really don't see a lot of it getting too much cheaper than it is now, and I really doubt we're going to see any big product dumps. Like maybe the OG collection box will have like one pack, but we've been seeing that for the last 2 years. I highly doubt there's going to be any big drops of this product in the future. I should also mention, this video is in no particular order. The last card I talk about might not be the best card to pick up. I think all of these are equally great pickups if you're looking to grab some awesome budget cards right now. The Spheal from Surging Sparks. Again, really cheap, but it's a card that sells pretty often. Whenever I have it, it goes relatively quickly. You can pick this card up below $7, and just like the Slackoth, I think it's going to go down in price even more. I'd imagine tons of them are hitting the markets or landing in people's collections. If you can pick this card up for like $5, I feel like it's a no-brainer. I think there's solid upside potential. There are a ton of Gen 3 fans like myself. Absolutely love this card. Spheal's an awesome Pokemon, and any card that features like multiple Pokemon on it always does well. Again, I want to emphasize this is never going to be a $100 card. I don't see a world where it's ever going to be like that. It's not like there's a little bit of this printed. There's a massive amount of these, probably 1 million of this card out there in the world. But for $7, I feel like it's a great buy, and I do think one day it'll be like 15 to 20 bucks. Next up is a card I have more immediate hope for, and that is the Swoobat from White Flare. I've been picking up a few copies of this. I'm expecting it to be one of those cards that, two Pokemon fans, if there's a couple that collects Pokemon cards together, they might want to grab this card for their significant other as a little Valentine's Day gift. It's not going to break the bank either. It's about $9 right now. I feel like it's a no-brainer, and I think in February or January time in the new year, I could see this card going up a little bit in price. Maybe it's just speculation here. Again, I don't think this is going to jump up like 2x in price in February just because Valentine's Day and there's a heart on the card. But I could see a little bit of gains during that season just due to the significance of this artwork and I guess the meaning of the artwork. Also, a newer card. I feel like White Flare and Black Bolt, I've kind of mentioned it in other videos. I think the illustration rares are really good pickups right now because there's so many of them. It's like Paldea Evolved. It's really hard to pull a certain one. Obviously, the starters are really, really good to grab. I also feel like as a set, it might have the best value out of the Scarlet and Violet era. I think there's going to be a lot of long-term potential in that set, and definitely one I'm kind of thinking about refocusing my investment dollars towards. Next up, a card that has made a few of my past undervalued illustration rare videos, and again, it's returning. We've got Quaxley from Paldea Evolved. It's still sub $10. It spiked up to 13, almost 14 bucks back in February. Today you can pick it up for about $9. Very similar to the Inteleon. This is the starter Pokemon. It's going to be someone's like nostalgic choice of a Pokemon, years down the line. I also feel like the pull rate of this card gives it a little more upside potential. It's harder to get your hands on. It might not be a card you see at every show you go to. I've had a bunch of these come and go. I've picked them up and sold them pretty quickly. Definitely looking to grab a couple more. I don't have any sitting in my collection at this moment, but sub $10 I think is a solid price. And just like some of the older sets, like anything basically, that first block, SV base to Paradox Rift, I feel like is pretty safe, and everything will start slowly climbing as the sets age, especially after this cooldown period has kind of settled down and things start to like naturally make gains as they would have without this huge Pokemon craze. The last card I want to talk about on this list is the Lechonk from Obsidian Flames. This card spiked up very recently, actually. It jumped up to $9, but right now you can grab it for about $7. It was also about $9 earlier in this year. But man, a year ago, you could pick this up for $3. Before that, even cheaper. I think I was picking these up for like $2 to $3 Canadian at one point. I don't have a ton of them in my collection, but I feel like there's potential with this card. It's just a fat Lechonk having a nap after devouring its breakfast, lunch, or dinner, whatever it may be. Very good card. Great artwork. People love Lechonk. I hope that guy comments down below. There's always a guy, whenever I talk about Lechonk, he leaves comments about Lechonk. Keep an eye on that comment. I'll pin it if I see it. I also do feel like Lechonk is one of the more iconic Pokemon. Should I say iconic? One of the more recognizable Pokemon from the Scarlet and Violet era. I feel like it stands out. There's nothing too special about it. It's just a pig. But man, it's definitely one that stands out amongst some of the other Pokemon in this region. And at $7, I wouldn't mind having a few copies for the future, just in case it bumps up to like $15, $20, $30. All right, guys, that's going to be it. Just a quick video today. I thought we'd make another one of these videos, not necessarily undervalued illustration rares, but 10 great cards to pick up under $10 that could see some returns in the future. As always, I just want to remind you guys, if you enjoyed the video at any point, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel if you haven't yet, and also leave me a comment. Tell me one illustration rare that's under $10 or one card under $10, can be from any era, that you think has great upside potential and would be great in any collection. Anyways, that's going to be it for today. I hope you guys enjoyed. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Peace.